Hello, what time is it?
The witching hour, but it's like 2 weeks late.
Oh, God. All right, so here's what happened. One, we said that we would have it. The last time we had a show, we were like, yeah, we're going to have a show next Wednesday, blah, blah, blah. We weren't here. We didn't have access to our equipment. We were like, oh, whatever, fuck it. And then we recorded an amazing podcast, 1 hour, 45 minutes of just talking, candid talking, back and forth, laughing, fun stories. Like, it was so good.
It was our childhood stories. It was great.
For an hour and 45 minutes, we just talked. And then,
it doesn't open.
no, something happened. We hit record, I hit stop, I put it on my computer, and it just wasn't there. So we were so discouraged. We're like, fuck this. Like, I guess there's going to be another time that maybe we'll talk about it again. But, like, as of right now, I cannot recreate that hour, 45-minute conversation.
No, I can't either. I can't even remember half the things I said.
Right, and it was just so, like, if we're talking for that long, you know it was good.
Well, maybe today we'll bring back some stuff. We're talking about, like, childhood TV shows and stuff.
Yeah,
I don't know.
So we're like, you know what? Here's a new thing. Obviously, we have, if you're watching, we have a different background going on. I just didn't want to have to change the whole slide thing. I just didn't want to deal with it. But you know what? Let's kind of branch off of our childhood stories and just talk about childhood shows we watched as a kid. And I dressed a little retro, a little vintage for the style. My new thrifted clothes. Clothes. Stop it! Oh my god, that was the last episode she talked about how I said clothes. Like, because I actually say the T.H. Clothes.
Yeah, sure.
Whatever.
Clothes.
And I was going to say something else. I totally forgot. But yeah, so, oh yeah, happy spring, supposedly.
Meanwhile, nor'easter, I just shook out hail out of my hair.
Yeah. So, spring, that was also, I was like, let me wear something floral but vintage at the same time. Happy spring,
We're also kind of matching. I like that look.
I
like, I have, like where...
Yeah, like...
There it is.
Yeah, and then you have, like, flowers on yours and flowers on your arm. So, we match.
Basically.
So anyway, today we're going to talk about childhood shows. It just kind of hit me. I was like, yeah, let's talk about it. Because I did a little project kind of thing last week. And also wrote a paper on, kind of gender stereotypes in children's television cartoons.
Ooh, that's a good
Children's
one.
television / cartoons. Yeah, it's so good. Which got me into literally watching shows. So I specifically talk about Powerpuff Girls and Dexter's Lab, and I compare them.
I literally have those like a billion
Powerpuff
times
Girls is
on my
my
list.
favorite. If you are also watching, you look at my laptop, you see like there's little bubbles right here, because I love the Powerpuff Girls. It was my show watching up. It makes sense. It's a super progressive show, and then I compare it to.
Also, last episode, Mojo Jojo.
What did we talk about in Mojo? Oh yeah, we talked about the we did bring up Mojo Jojo in the last episode.
That's really, I'm so pissed about that. That was such a good show.
It was. I don't know. We were saying, we're like, maybe there was something that we said that, like, it was meant to be deleted. Like,
right.
There was meant for something to happen because we couldn't, like, release the podcast. But, like, we talked about childhood stuff, so I don't think so.
We didn't say anything bad. I don't know.
Maybe it was we did tell one story about Justin.
That we didn't have permission to until after.
Yeah, so maybe that's why. Anyway, quick birthday shout out to him. Happy birthday.
I know. Happy birthday, Dustman.
Yeah, so hopefully we won't, I don't know. If we talk for long, we talk for long, but...
It's earlier than we would be anyway.
Exactly.
Because
of the
fuck
snow.
school.
Yeah.
Classes canceled.
Our classes got canceled because of the snow on spring day.
I know. I wanted to go to Rita's, and then I'm like...
That's what everybody kept saying, because Rita's gives free
ice. Free water ice.
Free water ices.
I mean, I could just go outside and hold a cup.
You could. Or shake out your hair and hold
right,
the cup
that was
over.
disgusting. It looked like Dandruff Danny from Miley Cyrus.
Danny, oh my god. That's another show. Are we limiting to just cartoons? Because we
can talk about anything and
Hannah
everything.
Montana. Yeah.
Hannah Montana.
So yeah.
That's such an interesting show. I can't even.
Right. I think, I've also recently watched, like, Drake and Josh as well. Oh, yes. Watching Drake and Josh. I watched Dexter. So what I was saying was Dexter is, like, you wouldn't think it, but while you're watching it, because as a kid, you're just, like, TV.
Right.
But...
So we're not limited to cartoons only, right?
I guess not. Maybe we should,
perfect.
because we could do a whole nother thing on, like...
Damn it.
Because cartoons is a lot.
It is a lot. I guess we can do, like, a little bit of both. We don't have to stick to one. Like, if it comes up, it comes up.
If it comes up, it comes up,
doesn't.
yeah. But anyway, yeah, so it's, like, heavily stereotyped. Like, if you think about it, Dexter's a scientist boy. He's smart. And then the girl is a dumb blonde dancer ballerina, like, frilly pink things. She's so stupid. Like, literally, she presses buttons that say, do not push Dee Dee. The mom is always wearing an apron and has gloves, and the dad has a suit and tie, loves sports, and, like...
It's like that 70s show, but a cartoon version.
Oh, wow.
I love that 70s show.
I didn't think about that. That's a good show.
We should make a whole episode on that show.
On just that show?
Yes, on just that 70s show.
I'm not, that's not ever a show I've been that big on. I did watch, like, the first 2 or 3 seasons.
I literally love it because there's so much bullshit on it.
We should talk about, like, 90s.
Yeah.
Just, like, 90s sitcoms.
Yeah.
That's the next one. Okay,
like,
that's
the
next
babysitter. What is it? The nanny? The nanny with the crazy voice.
With the voice,
oh
yeah,
my
Fran.
God. I couldn't watch it because of her voice.
I watched Friends.
I don't watch Friends. I don't like Friends. I know. Wait, stop. I just said that out loud. Oh, I just hit the mic too. Might be.
Okay, yeah, we're going off on a tangent, but anyway.
Big tangent. Okay, back.
But anyway, yeah, back. So there's a lot of stereotypes. There's literally one episode of Dexter's Laboratory where he fires Dee Dee from being his sister because she's so stupid, right? And she kept, like, distracting him and all his, like, doing his work and whatever. So he fires her, and then he realizes that he misses the distractions. He needs, like, the noise. So he puts up flyers, like, help wanted, like,
I know where we're going with this.
He's like, I need help, whatever. So then a whole bunch of people, like, come into his office and, like, you know, get interviewed, and, like, everybody's, like, not competent. Like, oh, I like peace and quiet, or, like, you know, it's, like, things like that wouldn't be good for being a new Dee Dee in the
right. It's not Dee Dee. So.
But then this big blonde busty woman comes in and she's like, "Do I get the job?" And Dexter's like, he's like, "Wow, yeah, I get the job."
I hate that sound, which I definitely have a thing about.
Right. Oh my gosh. But yeah, so it's like that noise and, like, whatever, and then so she literally dresses up like a sexy Dee Dee, which makes me very uncomfortable because, like,
that's your sister.
Right, but she's blonde and she's, like, busty and wearing, like, the ballerina stuff, and she's, like, not even good at the job. Like, he's like, you need to break the beakers, and there's, like, 18 beakers on the floor, like, because she can't smash them, and then he's like, okay, do something else, like, dance around, because Dee Dee always dances.
That'll be an extra $50.
Yes! Yeah, exactly. That's what she said. She goes, okay, but that'll be an extra $50, and he was like, and then
it makes me so uncomfortable.
And there's also she goes, like, he was like, you have to say something like this, and then finally he, like, leans down. She leans over and, like, rubs his head and says whatever he wants her to say in a very sexy manner. He's like, I need to be right back, and he goes and takes a cold shower.
Ew! I didn't even think about that. Wow.
Right. We should, like, literally look up, like, dirtiest, like, things in cartoons that you've, like, missed.
Oh, I have a bunch.
Kid. You do?
Oh yeah.
I have something.
There's one from. Yeah. There's one from the Looney Tunes, and it's there's this wolf or whatever, and every time an attractive female walks by, he literally, involuntarily, mind you, erects completely straight, and you get that sound, that stupid boing. Yes. Yep. And he literally involuntarily springs up, and I'm like, wait, that's disgusting.
That's like in Bambi.
Yeah.
With the thumper. Yeah, they all, and then she, like, presses her nose against Thumper's, and he's like,
yep.
And then, like, he stiffens up. I didn't even think about that. Ew. Yep. Also, speaking of noises, I watched cartoons, and I was like, I really want to be, like, a Foley artist, but, like, for 90s and 2000s cartoons. Like, not now.
Too bad we're too late.
Yeah, I know.
Too old.
I'll invent a time machine and do Foley art. Because, like, it's so funny. Like, he'll take off the glasses. Or, like, no. It'll be somebody, like, on a ledge, and they look up, and it's like, it'll be like, like, obviously, like, no
like
noise
I'm
is
watching
being
Mario.
made. Oh, we're like going into the pipe.
Yeah.
The sounds are just so funny. Or, like, you hear the squeaking of the chair, and it's like, it's just so dramatic for no reason. You know what I'm talking about.
I'm just enjoying your face.
I'm trying to think of other ones. It's like, they use, like, slide whistles for so many things.
I hate you so much.
That's what it sounds like.
So that's what you hear on a daily basis when I, like, move my glasses or, like, flip my hair.
Imagine if you heard things in Foley, like,
I feel like you do. Like, I feel like
I
you
wish
do.
I did. You know what that's called, actually? That's called Mickey Mousing. When you match.
Let's not even talk about mouse.
When you match sounds like with movements directly, it's called Mickey Mousing because it's a very cartoony thing to do.
Why did we both look at the same time? Creeps.
Yeah, let's talk about your nerdy things because I.
Oh, okay. So I don't know how many of you guys actually watched the Flintstones. That was like a huge thing when I was a kid. Like my mom made my siblings. Oh, look, she's on the side somewhere. Where'd she go?
Oh,
by you, yeah.
Here's the Flintstones right here.
Yeah. So my mom like made my siblings dress up as them, and like they had to be barefoot trick or treating, whatever. Yeah, I don't know. My mom just like goes hard. And we were actually in Puerto Rico at this time.
Oh, so
but
still warm.
Oh yeah, much warmer. But they go. It's Fred and Barney.
Yeah.
And they go to a costume store. And there's like a very subtle joke. I guess they're looking at hats or something, and they're trying to figure out which head of Barney's they're going to adorn.
Which head?
I'm gonna give you a second to think about that.
Which head?
Barney has 2 heads.
Oh God. What the heck?
Way out a winner.
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
They always, you know what? It's funny because they put in slight adult humor because they know that adults are gonna watch with their kids.
Right. You have no choice when your kid wants to watch it and they're screaming like.
You know, I actually did a whole research thing on the Powerpuff Girls, so I read a lot of articles, and there's a whole argument over whether it was actually made for kids or for adults or for both, because it has a lot of adult jokes, but also it's all messages that adults would get just as well as kids would get alike.
Right.
So
well, it's like I can't remember his name. The lobster dude.
Larry Lobster?
No. He wears high heels and stuff.
Him. Yeah.
That, first off, that's an emphasis on pronouns, him, because he dresses like a woman, kind of, I guess. If you abide by societal norms.
Yeah.
So it's one of those weird, sketchy things where I'm interesting.
Yeah, and it's always him, and he's the most evil out of all of them, which I don't know if that's supposed to be
right.
Because the show's very progressive, but is it supposed to be transgender people are evil? But I really don't think that's it. I think they would just...
Right, or is it that's how people view them, so we're going to put it in this point of view. Kind of try to, make fun of it,
Yeah, because if you think about how progressive the Powerpuff Girls was, it wouldn't make sense for them to, be making fun of that. Because each of the girls, each of the girls is, different kinds of girls. You have the bossy one, but she's also the leader and she's the smartest. Mm-hmm. You have the sensitive crybaby, and you also have the rough and tough, likes the mud, likes to hang out with the boys. So there was no I
have short hair and I'm in green today.
Oh my gosh. Buttercup. There was no
a little attitude.
Right. There was no set stereotype for the girls. I was Bubbles when I was younger. I'm a Buttercup.
I used to like to eat the Bubbles ice cream from the truck. The ice cream truck.
Oh my God, the Bubbles ice cream. Why was it only Bubbles though?
I don't know, but I loved it.
That was so good when the ice
cream
truck
came. That or the
came,
Bugs Bunny one.
The Bugs Bunny one was good too. I like the lemon and Bubbles hair.
Yeah,
if you guys know what we're talking about, the popsicles.
Was it lemon or was it banana?
No, it was definitely lemon. I hate banana.
Okay.
I hate artificial banana. Yeah, it was those little popsicles, but SpongeBob was also good too. The SpongeBob popsicle that the ice cream.
I didn't like his eyes. They would because they were black, so they would bleed out into the yellow, and it would freak me out. So I would not eat it.
Yeah, that's so true. Remember ice cream trucks, man? Oh wow, childhood. Those were the days.
I miss that.
Who is that guy? Looks like Waluigi. The background that we have right now is a really old
Yeah.
This is when it started to peek into our childhood.
Yeah.
Because you see Dexter, you see
Ed and Eddie.
Another thing we could talk about. You see the Powerpuff Girls, but you also see very old things.
Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, Scooby-Doo was
Batman.
before. You see the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, which I actually watched this morning. But it's not all of our childhood. It's a little before our childhood.
Oh my God, Courage the Cowardly
Courage the Cowardly Dog. Yeah.
That show used to scare the crap out of me.
That show was so scary. There's also some funny theories about that. There's a lot of funny theories about
really
cartoons.
I've never really looked into that one. It just always skeeved me out, so I never wanted to revisit those oppressed and
we have to look up those because those are all
it's not oppressed, it's suppressed. Oh my God. Suppressed memories. Ooh, delicious.
Sorry, I'll use that. um, but yeah, back to the Powerpuff Girls. Also, like, you have like different kinds of women that are seen in different ways, and then also like the professors, a single dad, and that like cares for his kids.
That, and so going back to like one of the episodes, the accidental thing, where they're like, oh, like, this is our friend Robin or whatever.
I love that episode.
Excuse me, whoa. Yeah. And my allergies are acting up. I can feel it. My voice is doing all kinds of weird things. But so anyway, the girls like explain how they were like made in the lab accidentally, and then Robin, the friend, goes, "Oh, it's okay. I was an accident too."
Yeah, and the professor's like, "It's that noise, the beep, like it's like a glass breaking." Yeah, that was funny.
It's like a very high strung, like, oh shit.
Yeah. Wait, there's also another episode. I love this episode. I quote this one all the time because it was like a regular suburban family, and it's so funny because like the dad's so like lame and like average, and the mom is like platinum blonde with like tan skin, like a suburban mom. It's so funny how they make fun of things in society, like because they do things like that very subtly. And she's like always talking like, she's like, "You'll never guess what's for breakfast, pancakes," and like every single day I say that all the time. Like my mom used to say that too whenever like she would make pancakes for us. She'd be like, "You never guess what's for breakfast," and I'd be like, "Pancakes." But yeah, like it was like the suburban dad and like the brother who had like green haired braces, and he was like, "Nobody understands me." It was like, it was
I can see it now.
It was so funny because it was just like making fun of like suburban families.
What show was this?
This is Powerpuff Girls.
Oh shit!
Like one episode, and like the dad was getting so mad because the Powerpuff Girls like kept saving the world, and like he would always see the professor outside like doing the gardening, and he'd be like, "Hi, how are you?" And he'd be like depressed because he worked at like a factory where he would just like, I don't know, put like a one of the what is that called? Like, there's like conveyor belts, and like it's like mass producing, and like all he does is like, you know, try
like, yeah, I get what you're saying.
What is it called? It's like how they made Fords, conveyor belts and mass producing. Why I just had it in my head.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm talking about? Like he basically does the same thing over and over again. Yeah. So like he's basically jealous of their lives, and so he gets mad that the Powerpuff Girls like keep saving the world, and so he wants them to like lose every time. So then he like constantly goes to the bathroom and like fixes up like this whole evil scheme to like try to like destroy the Powerpuff Girls. And then one day he's like going to the bathroom to do whatever, like to make his weapon, and his wife is like, "Honey, not today. We have guests for dinner." And it's like the Powerpuff Girls, and he's like, and then like they have him over, and he gets so annoyed, and then it's finally like he goes in the bathroom and he comes out in like a giant sock and like his ray gun with it's like a blow dryer, and he's like, "After dinner, the professor's gonna get it."
I feel like that's me as a kid.
Right. That's what it looked like. A kid made it up. It was so funny. It was just like because like the suburban family didn't have it good enough, and you know, like in suburbs, like everybody's competing with each other.
Right, because everything's like the same.
We all live next to each other and stuff.
Wait, I have a question, and I don't have the answer to this, so it's not like a trick question.
Okay.
Why is it called the Powerpuff Girls? Like, I feel like there has to be like a reason behind that. I don't know. Maybe is it a play on words of the Powderpuff Girls? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Because like Powderpuff is like making fun of it, right? Like,
I think so.
Let's see.
Google it. That's something that we should know.
I think so. Like, let's see the origin of like Powderpuff. Powderpuff.
Because it's like Powderpuff, like the football games and stuff that we do in high school, where the girls and the guys switch places.
It's made for like the girls and stuff, not connected to the internet.
Lame.
Hold on. We'll see. We'll see in a second.
Okay, I'll talk about the Rugrats while you do that.
Oh yeah, I'll tell you do you know the Rugrats theory behind that show?
Oh, that whole thing is creepy.
That one's messed up.
That one's
we'll talk
like
about
really,
that in a second. Okay,
really
go bring up.
So, speaking of inappropriateness in kids shows, in the Rugrats, there's one part where the grandpa is babysitting Tommy and Chucky, and he like went to whatever video rental store they have, and he rented out like Reptar movies for them. And then he had the Lonely Space Vixens. And he goes, "These are for you kids. Oh, ha. And this one's for me, but that's after you go to bed. Ha ha."
He's literally watching space porn.
Literally, like that makes me really uncomfortable.
Right, especially because he's like an old man. Wait, I'll get back to like an old man thing in a second. But Powderpuff is U.S. played by women or girls only. So I think it had to be like a play on words, right?
A soft pad for applying powder to the skin, especially the face, like the powder room, because women were always expected to wear like makeup and stuff like that. So they're like,
so yeah, they probably were like, how could we like take this like girly thing or just by girls only and make it like empowering? So like Powerpuff.
That's cute.
That is cute. I think that has to be it.
I don't know if anybody knows the answer. Hit me up.
Right, hit us up. Anyway, back to Lonely Space Vixen. That made me think of like
Lonely Space Vixen.
That's what it's called, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna change my Instagram name to that.
Oh my god, that's hilarious. That's really funny. Yeah, so that made me think of Hey Arnold's grandparents and whatever, and like their crazy grandma. Like she always got arrested, didn't she?
Yeah, she was insane.
Also, yeah, and also Helga's mother was an alcoholic. Like she was literally an alcoholic.
And that and Grandpa Phil. He there's this one episode or whatever that I guess he's like forgetting things. He's on the older side of things, and Arnold is like, "Oh no, like you're not too old. You have plenty of working like brain cells." Blah 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 blah. And he goes, "Not after Woodstock."
Oh my god, yeah, that's so funny. Like we wouldn't get that as kids. Like that's. So,
I love that. Like I laugh so hard at it now.
That's why I love watching like TV shows over and over again. Like now, like I know that I'm like 21 years old, like I'm almost 22, like whatever. Like it's so funny watching kid shows.
Shut up, I'm older than you.
Right. I know, but like either way, like once you hit 20, it's like okay.
Right, it's like downhill from there.
Yeah. It's like whatever, like don't watch cartoons, like.
Well, it's like the other day, stupid episode erasing. All right, so last week I watched Casper, the 1995 version of it. So it's the live action, not the little cartoons. And it was like really creepy, and it scared the shit out of me when I was a kid. So I rewatched it. First off, I was like, what the fuck am I scared about?
Right.
What? But then there's like, first off, they're cursing up a storm.
Are they?
Yeah, it's like bitch this, shit that. And it's like subtle. Like they don't really put an emphasis to it. So it just kind of like goes unscrutinized. Like it goes right under their little radar. It's so weird. And I was like, so wow, funny. I'm watching this? Like what the heck?
I love watching old things.
And like, I don't know. That whole thing is weird. Like the one lady is like conniving ass. And then there's like a bunch of subtle hints about how she's using this guy or whatever. I don't know. There's like weird stuff in that one. I have to rewatch it because that one was interesting.
Yeah, definitely rewatch that. We
should
just
watch it.
started.
We should watch it together.
Okay, we'll
sit there and be like.
I rewatched The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy this morning, and that one. First of all, isn't it so funny how like. If you watch the first episode of something, the animation is like shit.
And then it gets better progressively.
It gets so much better. Like, if you look up the first episode of Billy and Mandy, the animation is... Oh, it's open. It's so fucking ugly. So, like, this is like... Like, that's what it looks like right now. And, like, here's the first episode.
I can't with her freaking hair.
Her hair is like little devil horns.
Yeah.
Billy looks so stupid. Look at them.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't that crazy? First of all, the episode, it's so funny because it's just that like Mandy is so evil and Billy's so stupid that like that's why they even get the Grim Reaper to come. Like he was supposed to take their really old hamster away. Like that's why he came. And then he's like, why aren't you guys scared? And like Billy's just like stupid. He's like a dumb idiot. And like Mandy's just like, I'm not scared of anything. So they're like,
she's like, you should be scared of me.
Right. And it's so funny because like she's so mean, but she's so protective over Billy because he's so dumb. And like that's her best friend. And like without showing it, she just like, you're not taking the hamster because she knows that Billy loves it. She's like, yeah, how about we make a deal? We play a game, and if you lose, then if we win, then you can't take him. He's like, okay, and if I lose, then I'll be your best friend forever. And that's how the whole thing starts, basically. And Billy's like, ooh, take me too. And so Mandy's like, whatever. She's like, I never lose at games. But that show's funny. Like, okay.
I want to be her for Halloween.
That would be so funny. Can you make your hair like that?
I could probably try. I was thinking about it the whole time you were talking about it.
That's so freaking funny.
Spiking my hair up.
You need a Billy and you need a Grim then. I'll be Grim.
Okay.
Make Justin Billy.
Make Justin Billy.
Oh my god. We could like paint his nose like pink like that. That's
My eyes
hilarious.
actually teared up.
I wish he was small, because like
Small.
it makes more sense for him to be the Grim Reaper in
Because
the
he's
sense that he's
giant.
a giant. Yeah, but
But I think it'll be funnier with him being so tall and you being so small.
being the Grim Reaper. All right, we just came up with our idea right here for Halloween. Okay, no, what I was looking at, I had sent Kass a whole thread of like cartoon things.
Oh, I don't even have my phone. I was about to pull it up.
I'll pull it up, which is so funny because like we were like it's meant to be, but like it was like comparing a whole bunch of like cartoons together. It's like which one, who's the maddest, who's the best dad or whatever. But there was one of them, and it was like it was saying who's the maddest, right? Let's see, I'm gonna scroll down, and one of them, here you go. Who is the maddest? It's Buttercup. It's Sally.
That's the girl from Ed. Yeah.
Is it Sally
think
from
it's
Ed, and
Sally.
Eddie? Yeah. Squidward and Mandy.
Oh,
and
my
like,
two faves.
but like, here's the thing. Someone literally was just like, oh, and by the way, this is by Carnegie. It's Afro Boy BOIII. 4 eyes.
I.
Someone retweeted that one, and they were like, Mandy was so mad that she once smiled, the whole universe stopped. Like, it imploded. Because she was so mad. Like, she smiled once. Like, and they were saying that, like, both Sally... I feel like that's not the right name. Both... Let's see. Both her and Mandy were both, like, super... Sarah. It's Sarah.
Sarah, okay.
Because they both had anger issues, but, like, Sarah
But it
was
was like Squidward, too.
Yeah, but Squidward was like... Squidward secretly liked SpongeBob and Patrick. Squidward secretly likes them. Sarah and Mandy have anger issues, but, like, Sarah is, like, very protective over Jimmy. But, like, she at least had fun with Jimmy. Mandy, like, wouldn't even show that she was, like, happy with Billy. Like, in the episode that I watched, she literally was just, like... He was playing a cooking game and whatever, and she comes in, she's like, what is this? She undoes the dish. She smells it. She goes, it stinks. Breaks it in half so she could play President Evil. But and that's
I
her
feel
best
like
friend.
that's you and Dusty with Overcooked.
This stinks. Snap. So I think she was the maddest, and like, Buttercup was mad, but she was just like tough. That was a facade. That was mostly a facade.
Obviously a facade. When she got kissed on the head, she goes,
Oh.
Same.
Or when she had the blankie. Remember, did you watch that episode?
Yes.
She had a secret blankie that she would take back, and she would be like, I am the best fighter. I am the best fighter. I am the best fighter. And like she thought that she couldn't do anything without her secret blankie. I am the best fighter.
I relate.
Okay, let's see what else there is. Okay. Oh my God. Did you watch Conan Kids
Yeah,
Next Door?
Codename Kids, yes.
Ooh,
They
well,
were so strange.
They were.
The crust.
But the
They had a show about crust.
Oh, with the eyes?
Yes.
There was
it
crust
like,
in the eyes. It
yes.
was disgusting. It was so gross. That
Ew.
made me really uncomfortable. Didn't they put it in food too?
Yes.
They put it in like pie.
They made like, I think it was like
Oh my God, I'm getting the
crust pie,
heebie-jeebies.
crusty pie
Ew,
or something
ew,
like that.
Ew. I remember that episode and I felt uncomfortable watching it. I feel uncomfortable now thinking about it. I'm literally curled up right now, like thinking about that. But like, that was good. Me and my friend Kelly, we did number 3 and number 5, and I know number 5 is black, but also she's like dark skinned, and also you can't see her eyes, so maybe like who knows. But like
Also, who cares?
also who cares? Like it's like one like POC and like all cartoons from our time. Like first of all, so
It's not Gerald from Hey Arnold, who
Right.
gets no
Right.
screen time.
and
Love
also number 3 was Asian, which was cool, even though she had her really thick Asian accent. But like that was like really cool that like they had them because
Something better than nothing.
Well, she had her accent, but it wasn't like they ever said anything about her being Asian. Like they
Right.
never made fun of it or anything. So and Kelly, my friend Kelly's Korean, so we did both of them, and that was like really
It's like
cool.
La Cienega Boulevard is from the Proud Family.
Oh yeah, and it was just really cool, like seeing like POC when you were younger. But yeah, that show was funny, and also like Nigel's like a bald kid, and like number 3 was the only like kind of normal looking one. He had like a mushroom coconut cut, and then you had number 2 who was like on the chubbier side. His real name was Hoagie.
Okay. Oh.
So that's really cool that they had all those people. Do you remember the episode Battle Ready Armor? It was like bras.
No, I don't.
Oh my God. Okay, so I would always get so scared because I was like, we're going to grow up and we're not going to be like we're not going to be these kids anymore, because once you get to be an adult, you're all of a sudden evil. You remember that?
Yeah, I do.
As soon as you hit adulthood, you were evil. That was so funny.
I don't disagree. I feel like we're all so angry, but that's because we would just
Right.
want to be kids again.
Right. I think
Like, there's so much responsibility. There's so many things we have to do.
that's so true.
Like-
yeah, maybe they just. What if that's all in their head? Like they just see us all as evil.
Right. Because we're always telling them what to do and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
I'm always like angry because we have bills to pay.
True.
That could be
It's like,
a theory.
I was just actually having this conversation at work today. When you're a kid, you're not afraid to get hurt. Like, we're talking about, like,
Yeah.
I used to ride horses or whatever, and we're talking about horseback riding days. And, like, how we didn't care. Like, I almost broke my leg, I almost broke my arm.
Right.
But I never thought of it as an inconvenience. I was like, oh, well, it happens. It happens. Like, it's fine.
I used to do backflips in
Right.
like a 4-foot pool.
And then, like, now, if I think about breaking my leg, or if I'm in a situation where, like, something might happen, I'm like, oh my God, but, like, bills and work, I have to show up to work, and I have
Right,
school, and I
right.
have cats to feed. Like,
right, I can't be sick now because I have to go to
exactly.
class.
Like, I physically can't afford to be sick.
Right.
Meanwhile, as a kid, I'm like, oh,
Sick
sickness,
days,
yes.
yeah,
And just,
like-
like,
I'm sick from school, stay home. Which is so true. So maybe like they're like adults are so grumpy all the time. So like they imagine this whole like
Right.
maybe their treehouse is just like a normal treehouse that they all hang out in, and all the
Right.
kids like from the block just like play together, and then all imagine like these kids.
that's
being-
definitely what it has to
Yeah,
be. Because I used to do stuff like that when I was a kid.
And like if you think about the Battle Ready Armor episode, it was explaining why girls wear bras when they're
Oh,
older.
no.
That's what it was, because they're like, what is this? And they're like, this has to be some kind of contraption because all the older kids use it. Like, and people are like, come on, like that's not what it is. Like that's girls have to use it. And then it turns out that it was a weapon, and it was called Battle Ready Armor. And like even the guys would wear bras over their shorts.
BRA battle ready armor.
And then like they would be like activate or whatever, and like it would create like
Stop, I
armor
want
all
one.
around. Like wait, I'm gonna pull it up. Let's see.
That is so freaking funny.
Battle like so. What if kids use that to like, to like describe like things that they didn't understand why adults use? You know. So what
I feel like I used to do that as a kid. I can't really pinpoint a specific
Yeah.
thing or reason or like emotion that I had my own definition for,
Oh
but like I'm pretty sure that I used to do that too.
it makes sense, and like it's fun. It also makes sense. The theory makes sense because like number 5's like older sister was evil and like things like that. So like how do these people just turn evil? I think it's like all in their head. Like they're just imagining it. Battle.
It's like when you're a kid or like when you're a teenager, you're like struggling, like you're going through that whole like questioning authority, and you think that everybody that's like your parents are out to get you. You hate them all only because they're setting rules for you. Yes, that is so cool.
That's so funny.
Wait, look at him wearing one.
the
Go-
Battle Ready
Yes.
armor. They were all trying to
Yes.
wear one. That's so
He's
funny.
wearing it like Stitch.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, like the boys were like wearing the bras because they wanted to figure it out. That's so funny.
That is funny.
Okay, let's see. Best at leadership. It's Robin from Teen Titans. Amazing
Oh,
show.
There's a nasty joke about him.
What is it?
So him and Beast,
Yeah.
they were, I guess they found like action figures of them, and Robin's like, wow, like they've got every figure, like every detail is right. And then Beast goes, speak for yourself, as he's looking at a specific area.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. That's
I remember
so
that one
funny.
because that was one of the things that I was, when you said let's do this podcast, I was like, ding.
That was automatically the one. That's so funny. Okay, yeah. So best at leadership, it's Robin, Ed from Ed, Ed and Eddie, number 1, and Tommy Pickles.
I say Tommy Pickles.
Tommy Pickles, he was a baby, so and
Like,
like
he was hilarious.
he was also really supportive of
Yeah.
everybody. He was like, we could do this. Do you remember
His
the Rugrats
voice
movie?
killed me. Yes.
I liked.
I liked Rugrats all grown up too.
But then again, oh yeah, that was I felt so sad though that they were old. I was like, Then again, remember when he got introduced to his new brother?
Nobody wants
Dill
to be introduced to their new brother.
Yeah, but he left him for the monkeys to eat him in the Rugrats movie. You remember that?
I feel like we all would do that to our little
Bro.
dill pickles.
Little dill pickles. You know what?
Also, why is it called like dill?
Dill pickles.
pickle?
I think that was the writers were like, this is funny. They were like, let's do this.
Also, wait, going back to Dexter's lab. So, Dee Dee, she was talking about Dexter's club, and she goes like, your club is for IDKCS.
Yes, it was
It's
like
dicks.
that spells IDC. Yeah, I remember.
I
reading
love that.
There's also an episode where like a mom bends over and it says dad's trophies on the
Yeah.
back.
That, and there's also, I can't remember which show this was from. I just remember the name, and like now it clicks. And it was Dr. Bendova.
The receptionist in Billy and Mandy was like Miss Fat Bottom or something like that.
What? Or like Miss Cerebellum that literally looks like a cerebellum.
Yeah. Well,
the names are so funny now that I think of it.
Right? And Miss Keen, because Keen means smart. Professor Utonium, like
what?
Right. Like Ed and Eddie Double D and like Eddie. Like they all had the same name. I want to tell you the theory about that one. Anyway, first of all, Ed was a terrible leader. He was so selfish. He always like tried to do like he would try to con people all the time.
Same.
So
no, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, maybe Tommy, but also maybe number one. He was literally number one. He was number one ranking. So
number one egg.
Number one
That's
egg.
You.
That is me. Anyway, I don't know who it is actually. All I know is it's not Ed. Let's see. The baddest, the toughest of the tough. That's so funny. The toughest of the tough is like, did you watch that at all? It was the Cartoon Network show. It was like, something like they were on an island and it was like a fake reality TV show.
No, I definitely didn't see that because I would have remembered his eyebrow piercing.
That show was funny. It was like a reality TV show where they all had to like vote people off the island, but like it was a cartoon.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. That's like all of MTV.
Right. That was when we got a little older, but I did watch some of it. My brother watched it more than I did because he was younger. Let's see, cartoon. Yeah, so it was probably you were probably too old for it because I was just getting too old for it. Cartoon Network. It was like the island, Total Drama Island.
Oh jeez.
So it was like an animated reality show. Let's see. And so it was an elimination competition among 22 youths running over 26 episodes, leaving the audience with only one winner at the end.
That's so weird. It sounds like The Bachelor.
Right.
It makes me uncomfortable.
It's so funny because it was like, they could do a lot with cartoons. And they like made it a satire, so that's so cool.
Funny.
One group moves to your school, class, and neighborhood. Which one you rather not have? And it's the Kanker sisters from Ed and Eddie.
Wait.
Or what were they?
The Gross Sisters?
The Gross sisters from Proud Family.
You know what's funny?
What?
They're named Kanker.
Is that like a canker sword?
Yeah, like a canker sword. That's why I'm like, huh.
Wasn't it so funny that they literally had like white trash like people on the show? Like that's what they were. They lived in like, cause they lived in like a trailer home and they like had like they talked like they had accents. Isn't that crazy?
Your typical stereotype. Here it is.
Right.
That's insane. I never thought about that. Only because I was just like, whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
and nobody liked them.
Oh no.
Isn't that crazy? Because everybody else lived in the cul-de-sac. That was the whole thing.
Cul-de-sac.
Yeah. Also, I don't know. Who would you rather not have?
I'd rather not have the Kanker sisters.
Me too.
I like the Gross sisters.
Yeah, I feel like the Kanker sisters were like
They're
actually
so funny.
really annoying. They were like
no, go ahead.
Oh, they would like harass like the Ed and Eddie so much. Like they literally like would like stalk them and like find them and like kiss them and like yeah, they were.
No, the Gross sisters. There's like a theory behind it. The reason why they're like gray like that, and apparently they were like quote unquote ashy or whatever.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I never like fully read into it, but like they did like a whole makeover on them, and then magically they were colored. Like they had like lipstick and like they were not like that. Yeah.
I didn't watch
and
the
I
Proud
can't
Family
remember
that.
that. I used to love the Proud Family.
I watched it every now and then. Because I had a list of Disney shows that I would watch. I was mainly on Cartoon Network, honestly. Cartoon Network was my favorite.
I was like
network.
huge Disney or Nickelodeon.
Yeah, mine was I think most of the shows that I watched were on Cartoon Network, and I think that was because Powerpuff Girls were on there. And then there was like Billy and Mandy and Ed and Eddie and all that.
I also used to watch like Looney Tunes and stuff like that, which a lot of people didn't.
I watched Baby Looney Tunes a little
bit. They were so cute.
They were so cute. I think that's
the
why.
granny. Oh.
That's but I watched and Nickelodeon. I watched SpongeBob and Fairly Odd Parents. Those are my two.
I love
shows.
Fairly Odd Parents. Wait, isn't it weird that when Wanda and Cosmo had a baby, he was purple?
Yeah, like
Wandissimo. Yeah,
but
and he was like in love with.
Yeah, but
what's
the
her
thing
name?
is
Cosmo and Wanda.
With Wanda. But the thing
Wanda
is Cosmo.
Wandissimo.
But the thing is Cosmo was the one who got pregnant, so it's not like she cheated.
That whole thing is so weird. I don't even.
One DC was so funny, and like she like loved Cosmo.
He would always walk around like this.
Do you remember the anti-Cosmo and anti-Wanda?
Yes.
And like Wanda was like literally so stupid, and Cosmo was like smart and wore monocle.
It made me uncomfortable. I was like, this is not. I'm not okay with this.
I'm not okay. I'm trying to think of like the best one. You know what I use all the time? I used to call my old car, before I had the current one that I had a small like 2-door car, and there was just like a lot of things wrong with it, and I liked it, and it was like cool. It was a Nissan 240SX, so it's like ooh, a super cool sports car, but like there was a lot of things wrong with it, and so I called it a screaming metal death trap.
Jeez.
Just like the car that they had in that one episode where they had the car.
And they keep saying screaming metal death trap.
So that's what I would call. That's what I would call
again.
it. Chip Skylark.
Oh my god, I loved him.
Yeah,
I had him. Me too. I was just about to say that.
Yeah. Do you have like kid crushes on like? I had a kid crush on Mac from Fastest Home of Imaginary Friends.
I don't watch that.
Oh my god, that was another Cartoon Network one that I loved, and I always imagined having an imaginary friend if it came to life. So I had a crush on him. I kind of had a crush on Timmy, I guess, but Chip Skylark, I was like
Chip Skylark won. Rooting him on.
Yeah, and like Vicky was only 16 years old. Like that's crazy. Oh, what about the channel surfing one? Do you remember that? It was like an hour-long special of Fairly Odd Parents where they went through the TV.
Yes, I do remember that.
Timmy from the future was the one helping him.
That was uncomfortable. Oh
I love that. I thought that was so cool.
Do something.
And they like went through different cartoons and different cartoon styles, and they did like a Tom and Jerry.
Yeah. Speaking of Tom and Jerry, hold up. I have a lot of issues with that show because not even just that show, but that was like one of the more prominent ones that I used to watch as a kid because my mom loved it.
Yeah.
And so it's Tom and Jerry. They're doing the little cat and mouse thing, and any female character that was in that show barely spoke because guess what? Mute women were more liked.
Well, you know what? Also, we had it on DVD, and like there was like an intro to it, and it was Whoopi Goldberg, and she was saying that like you need to watch it like and know it's a sign of the times and stuff because there were like racist aspects. She goes, like I understand like it is racist now, but like we have to look back and take it as a sign in history and not like be offended anymore. And like I get that. That's like watching Friends, let's say. I know you don't watch Friends, but like if you watch it back, like there's a lot of sexist aspects to it and a lot of like homophobic remarks and things like that. And like, you know, those aren't funny now, but like also I still like the show, but you have to take it with a grain of salt knowing when the time period was, you know?
Right.
So that's like the same thing with Tom and Jerry.
It's also cool that you can like pick it out and be like,
Right. You're like,
because if you don't notice it, then we like that them. Well,
right. If you don't notice it. Oh my god! You know what's good? My Life as a Teenage Robot.
Meh.
Really?
Never saw it.
Okay, so Justin and I were watching an episode last week because I saw it and I was like, it was on Hulu and I have Hulu, so I was like, let's watch it. And Justin loved the show as well, which is good. It was also like one of the few shows that had a female lead.
Right.
It did have two like supporting characters that were male, but like it was also the mom. But like the main character was Jenny, the teenage robot, and there was only like 4 of those that like had a leading that was like made for like both boys and girls. But in the episode that I was watching, she wanted to go to a diner because her friend Brad worked there. Her best friend Brad worked there, and it was like an old timey diner. And they had like a jukebox and stuff like that. And the owner was like an old white man who was,
of course,
robot racist. Like he literally was like, "Don't you read the sign? It says no robots allowed." So it was literally playing on like diners and like racism and stuff like that because he was like, you're not allowed in here, so he kicked her out and whatever. And so she wanted to look like a human, so she had her mom make her like a human skin, which was also crazy. The first one was very scary. It was like a crazy prototype that like didn't look good, but she broke out like this is the time that she broke out like the newer one, but it still had a little kinks in it, but it looked like a human. It looked like a human girl. So of course he allowed her in. And then all of a sudden these aliens come in, and then so it's like bad aliens, and the owner's like, "Don't you see? It says no robots and aliens." So he's just like very ignorant to like anything.
Anything that's not him.
Exactly. Which was a total play on like racism back in the 50s and stuff, 50s and 60s. And then another aspect of this, which was crazy, was like Jenny went to go fight the aliens, but the costume, because it looked like a girl, like a very like stereotypical like girly girl, and people were like, "Oh, she's so pretty, she's so hot." It was like real ladies don't fight. Real ladies let the men handle it. And so Jenny was like, oh, okay. And she went home and she was like, I don't understand why I didn't fight them. And then the next day happened again, and she was like, the robot told her again, like, don't fight. Real girls look beautiful. Real girls don't get their nails dirty. Real girls paint their nails. So telling her all like bad stereotypes of women, and so like and like what she needs to do in order for the guys to like her and stuff. And then eventually she breaks out of it and stuff. But, like,
it reminds me of Popular, the song.
Right. Yeah. How to fix your hair. Everything.
I'll
yeah.
make
It was
boys
basically
like you.
Yeah. So that was like cool that like that was like the message that we're sending,
Right.
like one about like ignorance, because then she saves the diner, and then he's like, but still there's no robots allowed, so everybody leaves the diner. They're like,
Right.
fuck this place.
So
They leave.
it's like Scooby-Doo too, where if you look at just the basic shell of Velma and Daphne is the dumb, pretty one.
Yeah.
And then Velma is smart, but she can't be pretty, so she's got to be all prude and covered up with glasses hiding her
Right.
face. So, did you see the one where there was this girl named Marcy, and it was her birthday, and Velma's like, oh, like, Marcy, it's your birthday, or whatever. She's like, yeah, I'm turning 18. And then Fred's like, 18? And she goes, yeah, I can legally vote.
Oh my.
Because he was older
God,
than her.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
That and like Scooby-Doo's just so fucked up.
Yeah. Also, what's crazy with Scooby-Doo is that like every time they would reveal a bad guy, it was like a normal person, showing that like normal people can be the bad guys in your everyday lives. They'd be like, Mr. Smith,
Literally,
the baker from down the hall,
Yeah.
like down the street.
yeah, they used to have, I don't know, like some of their characters were so weird. I love Scooby-Doo. I loved it. I used to watch Scooby-Doo, the one movie, all the time, like every day as a kid.
The real movie?
Yeah, like the real movie. I was obsessed with
remember
Scooby-Doo. But like, it's just crazy when you like think of all of the like the little innuendos or whatever.
Yeah.
Like when in the movie, actually, when they all switch like souls or whatever, and they're in different bodies,
Oh,
and
my
Fred
God.
is Daphne. He goes, and he like runs to the bathroom.
I knew that when I was a kid. I was
Yep.
like, there's no hiding that one.
Right.
Like, that one is bad.
Yeah, it's crazy. And then whenever Velma went to go explain something, Fred had to interject and mansplain, and then she'd be like, well, that's what I just said.
Fred?
Yeah, Fred was a little piece of shit.
Wow.
Fuck you, Fred.
Wait, let's talk about more sexual innuendos. Talk about the pencil sharpener one in the Mare.
Okay.
The Sedusa episode.
Yes. So,
The villain was literally named Sedusa.
yeah, Sedusa.
So
What?
funny.
So anyway, I can't. Dexter's Lab? No, it was Powerpuff Girls.
Yeah, it was with the Mare, yeah.
Yeah, right. So this lady comes in or whatever, and this goes back to the wolf with the little cute whatever springing up involuntarily. So she comes in and she like grabs his hand. I don't remember the whole aspect. I just remember the part where she grabs his hand.
So she basically
Yeah.
sorry.
No,
so,
go ahead.
So basically, like what she was doing, it was like Miss Bellum was being weird, and she kept doing things like, "Can I leave early today?" And he'd be like, "Well, you have to do this thing," and she's like, "But," and so then she's like, "Are you sure? Let me help you with
Yeah,
that."
ew. And she would like grab his hand, and it was like unsharpened pencils, and she would like stick it in the pencil sharpener and make it pointy, and then like grab another one again.
And it would be like a short little nub.
Yep.
And she like held his hand over,
Yep.
and the Mare was literally like,
Yeah, like
the
that's
whole thing.
disgusting.
And like the funny thing about that though was like that was basically saying and that's why they're like, I'm not sure if this is supposed to be an adult cartoon or a kids one, because it was saying without showing that like she was seducing the Mare into doing things, which wasn't like Miss Bellum,
Right.
and like to like get him to switch. And like that's funny because it's like the whole like corruptness in like government sometimes,
Right.
like
That, and also just like even in like office jobs where
Right.
like the secretary is the one that has to satisfy whoever said
Right.
person is in order to like get a promotion or to
Right.
get anything done, because her voice isn't heard unless
right. And then with real Miss Bellum, she was the one who was like the brains behind the whole operation always.
i.e. Sarah Bellum.
Right. Ding. But yeah, and that's how they realized it wasn't like her, because they were like, like this isn't like Miss Bellum. Because there was also one episode where like she was really upset because someone called her sweet cheeks. So even though she was a sexy woman, she was like, I don't like being objectified.
Right.
And she was not about that because then after like Seducer was like gone and in jail, the mayor still expected like the seducing from her. He's like, so we gonna blah blah blah, and she was like, mayor, no.
Right, and that's like also like let's say somebody has like a secretary who's willing to do that, and then either they get fired or promoted or whatever, and they get the next person. They assume that person's gonna do the same as so and so.
Also, in another episode, it was called Equal Fights. It was literally about feminism and like how there's like a misconstrued version of feminism and like what it actually is, because there was somebody called like femme fatale, and she was like wearing like the sign of Venus all over, and like she was saying that like men can't do anything, like men can't do anything, right? Give me all the Susan B. Anthony coins or whatever. And then she was trying to tell the girl, she's like, there are no like female victims, like besides the rich brat and the chick in the underwear. So it was like Seducer, the chick in the underwear, and what you call it? Morbucks. Princess Morbucks. She's so funny. Her dad like didn't love her, and she literally was always like, Daddy, the girls don't love me. They have better things than me. And he'd like hand her money, and she'd be like, thank you, Daddy.
Morbucks. But now that you mentioned Venus, back to the Rugrats, there was an episode where one of the moms was pregnant, and I can't remember which one it was because you just said it and it like triggered a memory. And they're talking to like the realtor lady, and she goes, haha, is it a boy or a girl? Like somebody asked. Yeah. And the realtor goes, well, you know, if they're born under Venus, look for a, and she like answers her phone.
If it was a phone, then it might have been no.
Venus. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I know.
That's so awkward. It's disgusting.
That was funny too. The Rugrats was also cool because Angelica's mom, who I think
that's who it was.
Her, but she was never. Oh, maybe it was a flashback.
Yeah,
because she was always the one on the phone.
Yeah, she was on the flip phone.
Right, because she was a businesswoman. Like she was a strong businesswoman. And then you had like Phil and Lil's mom, who was like.
Oh my God! Speaking of Phil and Lil, continue. Go ahead.
She was like not a like typical mom. Like she like had short hair and like would always wear sweatshirts. Are you talking about the one thing where they found the differences between them?
Yes, the cord. They're like, oh, they cut my cord. Oh, you're lucky. They were talking about circumcision.
Oh my God. Yeah. No, I think they were talking about the belly button. Like, you know how like you still have like a belly button? So like he thought like his little wiener was like his cord.
That's interesting because I always thought it was about circumcision.
No, because Phil doesn't have a wiener because she's a girl. I mean, Lil doesn't have a wiener, so he's like, oh, she cut the cord, and he's like, oh, mine's still there. It's like because Lil doesn't have anything. He still has a whole cord. So I don't think it's about circumcision. It's just about him having a penis and her. I don't know.
Either way, it makes me uncomfortable. The fact that we just had this very serious conversation, and I'm sitting here like enlightened, like, this is the penis.
Wait, there's also, gross. I know I keep talking about Powerpuff Girls, but that's because I literally have watched every single episode over and over again. Like, we used to have a VHS tape of, like, a marathon. There's a marathon that, like, we filmed 2 tapes over that we would watch over and over again. But, like, this is a new episode, so I don't think it was on that tape, but, like, there was one where, like, the Rowdy Rough Boys come back, and the Mojo Jojo makes them like bigger and better than ever, and they like keep growing and growing, and they get bigger. But every time their masculinity is threatened, they shrink. So isn't that so funny? Well, that's why they broke in the first place when they all kissed them, and they were like, ah! And they like all blew up into snails.
I remember this because Blossom's like,
right. What was it? It was like something snails and puppy dog tails.
I have no idea. You have a better memory for that than I do.
I think it was like sweat snails and puppy dog snails instead of sugar spice and everything nice, because they were making gross boys. Yeah, and like they like threatened their masculinity because like they would like make them cry or something, and they got smaller and smaller, and like Blossom literally says every time we threaten their masculinity they shrink in size. It's so funny. That show is so freaking funny. Wait, can I tell you about conspiracies?
Yeah, go.
Okay. So there's one with Ed and Eddie, and like, you know how like you never see any of the adults? Mm-hmm. One of them is like that they're all dead and this is like child heaven. A lot of them are like, oh, they're all dead, or like it's all in someone's head. But that one was like, they're all dead and they're in kid heaven, and like they all explain like how each one died. Like Rolf, the foreign one, like died in like a plague in like the 1800s or whatever.
What the fuck?
Like,
wait, speaking of Rolf, when he's in that giant thing of bananas, he goes, they're squishing Rolf's something. I can't remember what it was. If they said balls or something like that. Oh my God. I don't know. They said something and it was pretty gross. It's like, all these bananas are squishing my...
Stop. Rolf with his like accent. Yeah. So okay, they're saying that they're all stuck in purgatory. I think.
Oh shit.
So
Sad.
Right. Let's see. Characters behave oddly.
I'm starving.
Oh. Yeah, I have food waiting for me. Why did it do this? No, I did not win an Amazon gift card. Okay, basically they're all in purgatory and they all died in separate ways or whatever. Like, I don't know what it was, but like they all had different ways of dying. So that's one of those. Let's see, there's other ones. Like, there's the Pokemon one, which we haven't mentioned it, but Pokemon was like also one of my favorites, also on my laptop. Here it is,
I used to love Pokemon.
Loved Pokemon. Yeah, so there was that one, and it was like it's all in Ash's head, like
Yeah.
the Pokemon aren't even real or whatever, or like they are, but like Ash is like in a coma or something, because you know how every time he gets to the gym, like he always gets better and better and better, and then he gets to a gym, he loses, and then he has to start all over from the beginning, and like Pikachu never gets better. Like his Pikachu is only like level 50, and like it's like, come on now, Ash, your Pikachu's not even that good. So like that's why, because he doesn't want his journey to ever end. So like every time he gets to like the top, he gets defeated so he could start over.
That's so weird.
Let's see, what else is there. Hey, wait, did you ever, I remember being in 8th grade, I remember hearing about this, it gave me nightmares. Like I was so scared all the time. There was like this one thing, it was like SpongeBob, and it went around, it was like on Reddit and like on YouTube, and there was a video about it, and it was on Creepypasta, and it was like Squidward's suicide.
Yeah.
That was terrifying. The video was terrifying. It was literally about like how Squidward like killed himself because of SpongeBob and Patrick, and like it was scary. I don't know who made that, like who was so like.
I remember reading it on Creepypasta.
Wasn't it
but
so scary?
I don't remember the whole thing.
Me
I was kind of like,
neither.
ugh.
But like if you watch the video, there was like scary.
Ew, there was video?
Yeah, and like they had the scary picture of Squidward.
Yeah,
and
I do remember the picture.
That was terrible. I don't know who made that, but whoever did make that, fuck you. Like honestly, like that's gross. What other conspiracies are there like that I'm thinking of? Remember my Zootopia conspiracy that I made up?
No.
I told you about this when we were at your house that one time. I had made up this whole Zootopia conspiracy. Why are you looking at me?
Because I don't remember.
Okay, want me to tell
you?
you?
And I love Zootopia, and I have a thing about Zootopia that I was going to say.
Okay, I told you this conspiracy at your house. It was me and Dusty, and like Dusty wasn't paying attention.
Is this when he's like, when we were playing with the...
Probably, and
I
I was
can't
explaining.
remember.
Okay, so this is what the theory was. It's a pretty good theory that I made up myself, and like I tried re-explaining this to Justin, and like he just had a hard time grasping it. He's like, it's not gonna happen in real life. I'm like, no, the theory is not it's happening in real life. It's happening in Zootopia.
Yeah, I remember.
So in the Zootopia universe, it is already established that they all have a universe where they're all interconnected, and there's one main city where everybody is there together from different climates, from different habitats, but they're all in one city, and they all obviously speak the same language. So like in that world, somehow the animals did that. So what I think had happened was eventually humans are gonna die. Like we're gonna kill each other off. Like some way or another, we're all gonna die, right? And when we do that, the earth has a way of regenerating. Like I watched this whole documentary, and like it'll take years. It'll take literal years. But the earth.
I remember you telling me this now because you said years like 7 times.
But the earth will regenerate again, and like everything will regrow. And like even if there's buildings, like the plants will come in and like just grow over them, etc., etc. So what I think is that like all the animals get back, whatever, blah blah blah. They repopulate all this stuff, but because there's no humans bringing them down, they all get advanced with each other and like their environments, and eventually thousands of years from now, they all learn a common communication. They all start wearing clothes. Like right now it's like
Clothes.
Stop it. They're like, oh no, like that person's naked. That's crazy. Like it's the hippies that are naked in Zootopia. So they're like,
we're all natural.
Yeah,
here.
we're all natural. So like that's an old concept that's not acceptable anymore. So somewhere along the lines, like they started wearing clothes like humans, and like they had to have come up with their own technology to build one common city area. So like this is in a world. Zootopia is in a world that once was ours that they replaced because like we eventually die, and like they're able to like all live. Coincide with each other, because how else would all the animals live together, like, and then there's no humans,
the prey and the predators,
right? And then there's no humans either. Like, where did they go? Something has happened to us. So I think it's the same universe, but we just all die out. And Zootopia, they all just
mine was less deep than all that. Mine was when she's calculating the fine for Nick, and she goes, but I'm just a dumb bunny, right? But we know how to multiply.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Right. Also, I love that movie. I know that's like not even a childhood movie, but like
I love that movie.
But like, yeah, the whole thing about diversity and like when she was like, I love this. When the tiger receptionist calls her cute,
and she goes, another bunny can call me cute, but when you do it, it's a little weird.
Yeah, she's like, it's like unacceptable, which is really like derogatory terms because things become derogatory and like demeaning when it comes from one like somebody else to like a lower person, and because she's the only bunny in the police academy, it becomes like a form of
fluff butt.
oppression.
All the names that the polar bear calls her, fluff butt.
Fluff butt, dude, that movie's so good. I love that.
It is a good movie. But speaking of bunnies multiplying, Bugs Bunny and Looney Tunes, there's this one day where he's like sitting outside reading, and he has this giant chapter book, and it says how to multiply, and he's like flipping through it. Yeah.
Oh,
told you I watched a lot of Looney Tunes.
You did. It's okay. I watched a lot of Powerpuff Girls. Oh, and SpongeBob and Fairly Odd Parents. What else did you write over here? Let's see.
I have Hey Arnold.
The hooker in Toy Story.
Oh yeah.
My God, with the leg.
I missed that. I completely missed that. But also when Mr. Potato Head takes his lips off and goes, "Kiss my ass," like
when he takes his wife's mouth in general.
Yeah.
Bro.
Or when Buzz sees Jessie, like the Jessie toy, and his wings
out.
Left each other.
We got excited.
Ew.
Oh, ew. Wait, what horny?
Oh, the honeymoon.
Oh, honey.
Okay.
Horny.
So, there's like, a lot of people don't know this, but there's like 3 Aladdin movies, and when Aladdin and Jasmine finally get married, the genie, like it's like Jafar and like the 40 Thieves, which is like Aladdin's dad and stuff like that. There's rumbling in the castle. And so the castle's like shaking. And Genie goes, and I quote, "I thought the earth wasn't supposed to shake until the honeymoon."
Oh my gosh. That's crazy. There's a whole bunch of jokes in SpongeBob.
Oh yeah.
Let's see.
When he's watching the anemone.
The anemone.
Yeah, sure.
The anemone.
Stop, I feel like Nemo.
Yeah. And then Gary walks in, he's like, "Oh, Gary!" And he changes the channel.
Football to football.
Oh my God. And the song was like, dun, 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 dun,
Yeah.
and like, it was moving. Let's see.
Oh, also, this is a funny one. Not really funny. I think it's, I don't know what it is. Take it as you will. In Beauty and the Beast, when Beast is like, oh, like, I want to do something for her or whatever, and Mr. Cogsworth goes, you know, there's the usual chocolates, flowers, promises you don't intend to keep. But I read into this, and
what is it?
The voice actor actually made that line up on the spot. He did. It wasn't even like scripted. Like
That's
he
funny.
made that up, and the fact that he made that up and that was like instantly what you thought of. Womp.
Womp. That's funny. Wait, what about this? The Animaniacs? I watched that. every now.
The Prince one?
Yeah.
Oh my
It was
gosh.
Like,
Yeah.
like one of them goes, "Dust for Prince." She's like, "I found Prince," like the singer
The
Prince.
singer.
She brings him over. He's like, "No, fingerprints." And she looks at him. She goes, "I don't think so."
Yeah.
What? Oh my God. Ew, SpongeBob's
The
prison
doubloons.
shower joke. Yeah, he shows 2 bars of soap. He goes, "Look, doubloons. Don't drop them." And there
Jail
was soap.
joke.
This one's
I love
funny.
this one.
Lord Farquaad's castle compensating for He's like, "So that must be Lord Farquaad's castle. Do you think he's compensating for something?" Oh, so it is circumcision.
I don't know because I always thought it was, and then I saw this.
Yeah, but like, yeah, because it looks. Cause I don't think it's circumcision because like they cut my cord. Consider yourself lucky because she's looking at her belly button, so he's looking down.
Well,
at
I
his
guess they
wiener.
only cut her cord though. They didn't cut anything else on her, and then on him they cut more.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I don't know. Either way, it's about a penis.
That one came up with Buzz.
Yeah, and the hooker.
Oh, I love this one. Have you seen Hocus-Pocus?
Yeah, here, go ahead. You describe it.
Oh, okay. So anyway, the ladies go up to this bus driver or whatever, and they're like, "Oh, we desire children." And the guy goes, well, it'll take me a few tries, but i.e. meaning that he can impregnate these older witches.
Oh my God. Hey, it might take me a couple of tries, but I don't think that'll be a problem. Ew. Oh, there's the hippie
Woodstock.
dad, the Woodstock. The 50 bucks extra dad's trophy.
Gross.
Getting milked in Rock. I didn't watch. I wasn't allowed to watch Rocco's Modern Life because it was like really bad.
It was. Yeah, there's one that I think that one's about. Show. Yeah, I think that one was about the cow, where the guy's like he goes up to the cow or whatever, and the cow goes, "I'd gladly squirt for you."
Oh my god!
I used to also watch the Justice League and a lot of superhero stuff. Again, unfortunately, you missed last week's episode, which I talked about my obsession with superheroes. Well, anyway, I used to watch Justice League, and the Flash. It was like this particular scene. The Flash was there, and Hawk Girl was there, and they were talking about how Flash is so fast, and he said something about like, "Oh, I'm like something about speed or whatever." She goes, "Yeah, that's probably why you haven't gotten a date."
Oh my god, that's so bad. That's so funny. Wait, look. When Stu says Phil and Lil's dad is away doing some male bonding and makes this gesture, he puts his fingers together, like his two index fingers together, male bonding.
I never got that when I watched that until right now.
Oh my god. His Lonely Space Vixens.
Oh, this one.
I remember that one.
I remember that one.
I watched this
it makes me uncomfortable
18 million times.
I've only ever watched it twice.
I actually had never watched The Road to El Dorado, where she comes up and she's nowhere near his face. I never watched it, but I remember seeing this GIF when I was like 13, 14 when I was on Tumblr and like watching it over and over because I was like,
what?
No fucking way.
Oh no.
That was business time face. SpongeBob watching sea porn. Gary! I'm just watching the sports channel, Gary. The panty raid. The cake
scabies.
Too. Sorry about the scabies.
No. Stop.
Explain it.
Wait, hold on. No. Okay, so SpongeBob has this, he has underwear, like briefs on his head, and his nose is sticking right through the middle of where I guess some guy's penis would be. That's disgusting.
Oh my god, this scene in Ed, Edd and Eddy, they're like...
He has crap all over his face!
What? Wait, no, look. Okay, it says Jiggy Jiggy. He's looking at a magazine, and there's tissues and tissue
and
paper balls
one
all over.
Chicks.
Oh my god. Not to mention this note Ed's parents left him. What does it say? Lock door. Oh, I can't read it. What does it say? Oh, don't touch yourself. What?
That makes me really uncomfortable.
Especially because Ed's like skeevy. Ed is really skeevy. Wait, remember how big when they would have the jawbreakers and they put the whole thing in their mouth and their mouth was like a hole in the head?
I was obsessed with like gobstoppers because of that for a little bit. Yeah.
Okay, so in my neighborhood when the ice cream truck went around, like in Brooklyn, we would get the bubbles, like ice cream or whatever, or ice pops, whatever they were.
Did you get Mr. Softy somewhere else?
Yeah, but like we got like our Mr. Softy guy in our neighborhood, and it was like you had to listen for the specific tone because he was the one who sold like candy in his ice cream truck, which just sounds so weird. But they had big jawbreakers, like this big, and it was a big phase in like 5th grade where everybody, this is so gross, we would just like eat the whole jawbreaker and like you would save it because you couldn't finish the whole thing. So we would have like sorry, I hit the mic. Plastic like Ziploc bags of like half-eaten jawbreakers, and you could see the middle. Like imagine a gobstopper, how you could see like the middle and stuff. It was like that, but like we kept it. So all the bacteria.
I'm so disgusted. I can't. That's disgusting. That reminds me of Veruca. Is it Veruca?
Yeah, Veruca Salt.
No, that's the rich girl, the other one. The one that sticks her gum. Yeah, the blueberry, where she sticks her gum behind her ear and saves it for later.
Yeah. Wait, what is this? In Ren and Stimpy?
I've never seen that
show. Ew.
Look at their faces. That is not...
This is why I wasn't allowed to watch Ren and Stimpy. Pretty much every single thing that happened in Ren and Stimpy was, like, dirty. But also the scene where the saw goes limp. He's literally cutting... He is cutting a log on this guy's butt from behind and, like, thrusting with the saw on his hip. And then the saw goes limp. That's disgusting. That's so gross.
Oh, I remember that one.
The scene from Victorious. I've always gotten A's in music. How do people go...
From A to D. Yeah. And she goes, I did in 8th grade.
Victorious was funny. They always did things like that. In Space Jam, when the doctor... Oh, sorry. In Space Jam, when the doctor asked Patrick Ewing if there's any other areas aside from basketball that you find yourself unable to perform, and Patrick responds, no. Oh, my God.
Ew,
what? Oh, here it is. Hot Girl, fastest man alive, which might explain why you can't get a date. I remember this. I remember when I first...
remember that when I watched it.
Yeah, when I learned what Oedipus was and then, like, Hercules made sense. That Oedipus play, man, I thought I had problems. I was like, oh, here's the Earth supposed to shake until the honeymoon.
Gross. I never watched Full House either. Like,
Oh.
I watched every bit of it. What
Me
does
too.
it say?
A horoscope? What's that, Kimmy? A telescope that can only see your face?
Burn.
That's
Burn.
hilarious.
Horoscope. Oh my god, I'm dead.
That's so funny.
Get out.
All
Let's see
right.
what else I have.
Yeah, what else do you have? Yeah, you know, we should do another episode where we talk about, like, sitcoms and, like,
Yeah.
like more teen
Wait,
shows.
let's
teen-driven
talk
shows.
about real quick. Let's do some Disney movies. Like Cars, for example. In the first movie, when Lightning McQueen is at the, like, this giant race or whatever, and his little groupies flash him their headlights. What?
That's bad. That's funny.
It just boggles my... Nobody ever gets it either.
Right.
They're like, oh, haha. No,
They
they're
flash
flashing him.
That's so funny. That's
And then
funny,
I have
you know?
another one written about Tarzan and Jane from when she's drawing Tarzan on the blackboard.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, he's got these eyes. And the dad goes, do you want me to leave you and the blackboard alone?
Oh, yeah. What?
Instantly uncomfortable.
Let's see what else is there.
Frozen. Foot size doesn't matter.
I remember hearing that when I watched. I mean, I was 17, so I was.
Oh no, I was in
Yeah.
college already.
Yeah. So I remember hearing that, and I was like, and nobody else like near me like heard that too and said something. I was like, what?
Right. Or Ariel back. Oh, hold on. Wait a minute. Let's talk about the Teletubbies. So
With the vacuum?
No,
Oh.
just the Teletubbies in general. Like the whole description of the whole show goes, it's these little things. They're like kids or whatever, and they have TVs on their stomach
Yeah.
to watch the real kids. That was the whole point of them having TVs on their belly, to watch
Oh.
kids. Like they would, and that's how we would get into all these stories about like what kids were doing because they were watching them, like creeping on them on their little tummy telly things.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that because you don't watch that like since you're like 4. you
Right.
know?
But again, stupid last episode. I was obsessed with the Teletubbies, and I looked up like the description of it, and it was creepy as fuck. It was talking about how like the Tubbies were watching them, like real kids, through their bellies, and they could communicate with them through these like horns or whatever. It's fucking weird.
Oh, the baby son.
Yeah, and the baby son, what? They were like obsessed with kids and they wanted to watch them. Also, who eats only custard? What?
Custard.
Oh, another thing that I noticed, and this is like part of a paper that I'm kind of writing for my PhD program. It's about women in like literature and film and stuff like that. And one thing that I noticed, not just in like cartoons, but like it has to do with like other things too, like movies and stuff like that. Women are never portrayed as eating as much as a man in a film. You'll always see guys eating constantly, but you rarely see women eating.
Wow, that's so true.
Especially in cartoons, the woman's always the one cooking. And she's like, how's it tasting? But she's never eating anything. Or like when Ariel gave up her voice for a man. And then Ursula goes, it's all about body language. Who needs, men don't like women who blabber.
Yeah.
They think a girl who gossips is a bore. A whore. Awkward.
That's crazy.
Yep.
That's crazy. Also, yeah, if women are eating in shows, like usually it's because like it's quirky to eat.
Right.
It's quirky to eat.
It's
all
like,
this food.
yeah, exactly. It's like strange. And like
Yeah.
they want to be like the outsider who eats. We all fucking eat. What the
right. Yeah. Speaking of, I'm starving.
hell? Right. Or
Right.
like back to the Looney Tunes and like just racist things that would pop up on there. For example, there was this rat, his name was Slowpoke Rodriguez, and he was a Mexican rat who was lazy, and he carried a gun around all the time. And then there was another, I can't remember the name, it starts with a B, but there was this, it was like a blackface caricature in the episode. Yeah. What?
That's crazy.
Yerp.
Wow. Wow. I want to watch a whole bunch of things now.
Did you ever see Cow and Chicken?
Yeah.
Did you ever see the episode where they had the butch bikers and they all came and they were munching on carpet?
That's so bad. That's so bad. Wow, we should go. I want to go back and like watch. I just want to watch cartoons now.
Same. I just want to go back and be
Right.
like, that's ass.
Right, because there are some things that you can't find online. Like there are
Right.
some things that you can't. Like you have to just watch for yourself, and you're like, holy crap! Like the My Life as a Teenage Robot one that I've watched, and I was like,
I was watching Scooby-Doo the other day, actually, and I wrote it down. Not Scooby-Doo. Fred and Daphne are walking in this, like, desert or whatever. And he goes, oh, this desert reminds me of women. And Daphne's like, why? And he goes, because they go on and on and on.
Fred's a fucking douchebag.
He's a total dickhead with his ass caught.
He's what a douche.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, let's find things that aren't on the internet. We could do it.
Let me lift this so I don't make
Lift
a
her.
crinkly noise. And boom.
All right.
What
What else?
Oh, and in Dexter's lab when they're playing Twister.
Oh yeah, and like they're like making like noises.
Oh, I do have one for Rocco's Modern Life, the hotline.
Oh my god, I remember that actually.
So he's like a little sex person on a hotline, and there's a post-it that says, "Be hot, be naughty, be courteous."
But also they say something about doggy style.
Yeah, there's one. The best ways to mount the ride. Yeah, I remember watching that.
That's crazy.
Yeah, there was it says there was a sign that says there's two ways. Wow, oh my god, I'm dying, my voice. But anyway, it says there's a sign that says there's two ways to mount this ride, doggy or something else.
That's. No, I'm so glad my mom didn't let me watch that. That's bad. Imagine if a kid watching that, which kids did. I bet.
I did.
Oh my god.
Once or twice.
Bad.
Oh, hey Arnold, when the grandpa is by the butcher and there's a sign right behind them that says sausage party and it's pointing to him. Or, no, I don't even know why it says sausage party. It definitely says try my sausage. That's what I meant to say.
Oh my god.
I don't know why it says sausage party. I was
party.
thinking about inappropriate movies and there's one for you.
Didn't even watch that.
I saw bits and pieces and I was like, I can't watch this.
Yeah, I heard it was terrible.
It's disgusting. It's literally gross. I don't have anything else, really. Let's see. I can probably think one up. These are my antennas, I'm thinking.
Yeah, I'm trying to think too. I can't even think anymore. I need to watch more.
I feel like there's a lot of movies that have things in them. I thought of one because I was thinking about Disney movies. Oh my gosh. Okay, so in Cinderella, the very first one, where Jacques and Gus are making her the dress, and they break this necklace of beads, and they're stringing it on Gus's tail.
Yeah.
What does it look like to you?
I don't know. Why? What is it?
Anal beads.
Oh my god, stop it.
And Gus is making a face as Jacques is holding his tail up. That's, yeah. Literally, poor Gus. He's literally like this.
Oh my gosh.
And then Jacques is like,
that's funny. I didn't even think about that. That's gross.
it's fucking weird. Or how shallow are we that we choose people based on shoe size? What?
Also, there wasn't going to be another person in the kingdom with the same shoe size?
Right. And I always thought about that. I'm like, that's so stupid.
You could have been listen, here's a shoe. If you're blonde and, this tall maybe and bubble.
Right.
You could have said
and
all
if
that.
you could dance to this song or whatever, you know what I mean?
But it was let's put this on everybody's feet. He didn't even
It's
go around
disgusting.
with them. He was just
No, he just sent somebody else. Bring
you
me
would
my
know.
wife.
You would literally know.
And he was set on marrying her. What if she didn't want to marry him?
Right, she literally ran away from you at midnight. So.
Or Consent, Aurora. This movie is about a girl who has maybe 5 lines in her entire movie.
Yeah, she literally has 9 or something. 9 minutes of screen time.
Yeah.
That's why.
And it's called Sleeping Beauty.
Or even Snow White Where, like, he's, like, chasing her.
Or she's in, like, a house with 7 men. And she's the one
She's,
that's,
like,
like
14.
cleaning and shit.
Oh, my God, because they don't know how to take care of themselves?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
It's crazy. The woman is either the one who takes care of the man and provides for them, or she's just a little sex toy that walks around. And it, like, gives incentive to the boys.
No, that's what we should do a whole thing on, like, sexism in, like, old TV shows.
Oh, my God. We'll
Drake
go
and
on for
Josh.
hours.
Drake and Josh. Drake isn't even that cute. Well, he wasn't even that cute. Like,
I know. No, he was not. I hated that show. I literally hated that show.
There were so many, like, girls, like, that he just kept dating over and over.
Why?
Right? And, like, Josh couldn't get anybody because he was smart and, like, a little heavy. Like, fuck.
Like, I will never understand. But it plays so much on the cultural, like, paradigm.
Yeah.
Like, it's ridiculous. Like, you see literally where we were at a couple of years ago in our own TV shows.
Right. It's so crazy. Because, like, that wouldn't fly now. And, like, now in Adventure Time, like, there's Princess Bubblegum and, what is her name? Marcella? Something?
I don't know.
Well, she's, like, Princess Bubblegum is, like,
Isn't
a pink...
it Maria?
Something like that. I don't know. She's
like, I don't even know.
Yeah, Princess Bubblegum is like, she's a pink-haired, pink dress, like, she has a crown and everything, and, like, she has a girlfriend, and it's, like, a rocker goth girl, so.
Right.
Like, that's cool. That's really cool.
Oh, I had something. Did I have something on here? I don't even know now. I feel like I'm making it up. I'm probably making it up. Yeah, I made it up. It's fine. There was something about, like, homosexuality, and I can't remember now. And, like, TV shows. Meh.
Yeah. Meh. Well, that's all I have.
That's all I have. I can't think of anything anymore.
We could.
I'm also only thinking about food.
I'm so
really hungry.
Yeah. Well, we can definitely go on about sitcoms and, like, teen shows like Zoe 101, Drake and Josh. What else was there? Like, That's So Raven. Like, those ages of shows. Zack and Cody, Hannah Montana, like, all that kind of shit. That's a good one to talk about. I will watch all those. They're so hard to find, though, which is so stupid.
I currently still watch some of them.
Yeah.
On YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube has a lot. YouTube. But yeah, we'll definitely do that one. That's fun. That's so fun.
What are we doing next week?
I don't know. Guess we gotta figure it out. Maybe we should change it up. I don't know.
Yeah, we should change it up. Let's do something completely different that we haven't done before.
All right. We'll surprise you guys.
Hopefully.
All right. So hopefully this podcast works. If this podcast works. If this podcast doesn't work, you guys wouldn't know, but we are gonna quit. And you wouldn't know because you wouldn't be listening to this right now. And hopefully you are listening to it because it worked. And hopefully we'll talk about our childhood toys eventually. But I need a break.
I'm exhausted for
I need a break.
No, that was, like, depressing a little bit.
Yeah.
Thinking about all the weird stuff that I used to do. I'm like, wow, I
was a weirdo.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we'll talk about we're skipping the witching minute because we're so caught up in our TV shows that
I would just say I'm hungry 5 times, so it doesn't matter anyway.
Yeah, me too, honestly. But yeah, so we're gonna go do stuff now. I hope you enjoyed the witching minute. Hope you enjoyed us talking about TV shows. It was a little all over the place, but, like, there's just so much talking about TV shows. Like, maybe we could like narrow it down to one specific kind of, like, TV show kind of thing. Like, if we just talk about conspiracy theories, but also if we
should do one on conspiracy theories. That'd be cool.
I would love that. On conspiracy theories that I believe in because there are so many. We'll
the Earth is flat. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my God, the Earth is. I'd be like, Cass, I gotta go. We can't do this show anymore. All right. Thanks for watching / listening, guys. Hope you enjoyed that. Sorry for the 2-week hiatus. For the
literally
3 of you out there, but whatever. Catch you later.